Good morning, students. In this lecture, we will discuss remaining stanzas of the poem All for Love, written by Lord Byron. And as we have already discussed, this poem is prescribed into the syllabus of B.C.A. semester 2nd. In our previous lecture, we discussed first two stanzas of the same poem, and today we will discuss remaining two stanzas of the poem All for Love. So, this is the image of the poet Lord Byron. So, let us begin with the next stanza or third stanza of the poem. O fame, if I ever took delight in thy praises, it was less for the sake of thy high sounding phrases than to see the bright eyes of the dear one discover. She thought that I was not unworthy to love her. O fame, if I ever took delight in thy praises, it was less for the sake of thy high sounding phrases. As in our previous lecture, we discussed that the theme of this poem is that every man wants to get appreciation from his beloved. Whatever he does for the love of his beloved. He wants to get name and fame in order to rise above in the eyes of his beloved. So in these lines, the poet says that he likes praise and fame not for his own sake, but he likes both of these things for to get uh, esteem or to get love from his beloved. O fame, if I ever took delight in thy praises. The poet says that he feels happy by getting praise and fame. He took delight. Delight means happiness. That he feels happy when he gets praise or fame. He feels happy. There is no doubt in this. It was less for the sake of thy high sounding phrases. But he likes them not for their high sounding phrases, means fame and praise. Both of these words are high sounding phrases, or we can say these are bombastic words. These are very great words. But the poet says that he doesn't like these words for their high sounding phrases, but he likes both of these words because the bright and shining eyes of his beloved would appreciate him for that reason. Than to see the bright eyes of the dear one discover, she thought that I was not unworthy to love her. The poet says that fame raises him in the eyes of his beloved, and his beloved thinks that he is a worthy lover. Whenever he gets praise and fame, his beloved thinks about him that he is a worthy lover because he has achieved that fame and we can say praise because he has done something great. So he likes fame and praise to get appreciation from his beloved. She thought that I was not unworthy to love her. Both of these things, praise and fame, give him the feeling that he is not an unworthy person to love her. He It gives him the feeling that he is not a worthless man. He likes praise and fame only as a means to rise high in his beloved's esteem. He likes both of these words, not for his own sake, but to get appreciation from his beloved. So, next is the stanza. Roman chiefly I sought thee, Roman only I found thee. Her glance was the best of the rays that surround thee. When it sparkled over aught that was bright in my story, I knew it was love and I felt it was glory. In these lines, in this concluding stanza or concluding lines of the poem, All for Love, the poet says that he tries to win fame and he tries to win fame for the sake of his beloved, means to get appreciation, to rise high above in the eyes of his beloved. That's why he tries to win fame so that he can get appreciation from his beloved, or so that he can rise high above in the eyes of his beloved. He treated fame as a means, not the last point. Roman chiefly I sought thee. Thee here means you. Roman only I found thee. Thee means you. Her glance means look, was the best of the rays that surround thee. When it sparkled over aught that was bright in my story, I knew it was love and I felt it was glory. There is no doubt in the fact that the poet feels happy whenever he gets fame by doing something great. He tries to win fame and glory only to rise high above in the eyes of his beloved. To get fame, his aim to get fame is to get appreciation from his beloved. Appreciation means praise. He tries to win fame only to get praise from his beloved. He is motivated by the desire to feel that his beloved is proud of him. Fame gives him great satisfaction because whenever he gets fame, then he succeeds. When it sparkled over aught that was bright in my story, the poet says that uh, her glance was the best of the rays that surround thee. He says that whenever he gets fame, he is succeeded. Then he succeeds in getting a smiling glance from his beloved. When it sparkled over aught that was bright in my story, I knew it was love and I felt it was glory. The poet says that when he gets fame, he succeeds in getting a smiling glance from his beloved. He feels honored at that very moment because because due to his fame he has succeeded in bringing um, a smiling glance from his beloved, so he feels honored because her when the eyes of his beloved started shining bright here means his the eyes of his beloved has started shining by the praise or by the fame the poet has achieved. I knew it was love and I felt it was glory. The poet knows that it was the light of love shining in her eyes. I knew it was love. Whenever there is brightness or shining in the eyes of the poet's beloved, The poet comes to know that it is due to her love towards the poet because of his fame. And I felt it was glory. The poet says that he regards that love and that shining in the eyes of his beloved as the greatest honor and as the greatest glory for him. He says that no other achievement or fame is greater than this achievement of his, that is, the shining or brightness and the love in the heart of his beloved for him. So the poet says that the love and brightness in the eyes of his beloved is the greatest honor and glory for him, which gives him immense pleasure. So the poem makes it clear that every man in this world wants to get appreciation from his beloved. So, whatever a person does, he does to get love and praise or appreciation from his beloved. And because uh, whenever by achieving fame, they are able to get a smiling glance from their beloveds, it is the greatest glory for them. So, this is the theme of the poem also. So, students, today we have completed whole of the poem, All for Love. Tomorrow we will continue with our next lecture. Thank you. Thank you very much.